You guys are getting the full brunt of it this morning. Oh my goodness. This is part 2. Let me just say, I absolutely love having a little one who now understands how to heat food for herself. And so there are times that it feels a little overwhelming that now she's moving into this new phase of life where she can do things for herself. At the same time, it's part of the greater growth that I know is available to her. And so it's helping her with that a little bit, right? So let's talk about how to set vision with your kids, why it matters, and how we go about doing it. So when we think about vision, what does vision mean to ourselves personally? Vision means that we have a mental picture, an understanding of where it is that we're going, and we understand why it matters. It's beyond what we can see. And to be honest, vision is something that kids do incredibly well. It's because it connects to imagination. And when we encourage imaginative play, imaginative stories, all of those are ways that they're growing and activating that muscle that plays into faith and plays into vision. And so the reason why vision is so critical, that it's not just something that's for adults when they're grown, that they can do it right now, is it helps them to activate and to make use of that power and that strength within them to go, what is it that I see for my life? Even if it means, what is it that I see me getting accomplished by the end of the month or by the end of the week? We can extend that to being a year. I mean, if they're 2 or 3, it might be a little tricky because they're still not completely familiar with time, but helping them to recognize that they can use their imagination, they can use their beautiful minds to set a vision and to go someplace. That's the key. Okay. So the reason why setting vision with our kids matters is because it's helping them to develop that tool and that skill while they're young, so that as they grow up, they understand the power of their thoughts. They understand the power of their actions connecting to their thoughts. And they recognize that they can choose where it is that they go. So then there aren't as many confusing things that happen as we progress into adults and we're going, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. They don't hit that wall the same way we do, right? So how we go about doing that. It's really simple. We can sit down with them. This is what I've done with my kids. Is we sit down and we just have a conversation about, okay, what are the things that you would love to do? What are the things you like to dream about? What are the things that would be really amazing for you? And we just talk. And because they have imagination and because they can visualize those things, we just talk. And sometimes, yes, they may go a little off the rails and say things like, I want to have a unicorn and all these things. Are just, okay, you can totally have a unicorn. It might be a stuffed one, but hey, we can have that happen, right? But nevertheless, with them in that process of helping them to dream, to think, and to create, we then take those thoughts and those dreams and we say, you know what, let's collect a few of them and let's see what happens over the course of this next year or what happens over the course of this week. And with those dreams and ideas in mind, we put them on paper, whether it's in a book or we're drawing or we're cutting out pictures, whatever it is, we're helping them to activate that part of their brain that's saying, I can choose where it is that I go. I can choose what my life looks like, even if it's in a small thing, even if it means that this week, what would cause me to feel so wonderful is to know that by the end of the week, I had 5 great days of enjoying school, or I had a whole month where every single day I remembered to, I had time outside to play, no matter what was going on weather-wise, right? No matter what they have as their vision, let them set it, let them use their imagination. Kids have much better imagination than I do. But nevertheless, let them set it, let them actually put it down on paper. And from there, put it up. Put it someplace where they can remember. Put it someplace where you get to see it and you get to encourage them. They get to encourage themselves. Because when we're doing that, we're not in this place of saying, okay, well, I will not say what we're not doing. I'm going to say what we are doing because it's very easy as someone who can easily be, can think very critically, it's very easy to think about what it's not. Let's think about what it is. What it is doing, it's helping them, it's helping your kids, and it's helping us, even as grown-ups, to recognize the power in our choice and intention. The power of saying, this is what I desire to do, this is what I desire to accomplish, and I'm actually going to make steps towards that. So if that is something that completely lines up with you, you know what? As much as we're talking about doing this with kids, I'd love to be able to do this for myself. I'm so glad you said that because I am right there with you. It was a couple years ago that I chose to make the very dynamic decision to say, you know what, this is where I desire to go in my life. This is what I desire to have for my kids in terms of how they're growing. This is how I choose to show up intentionally in the area of our thoughts and in the area of our actions. And it has completely transformed the way we do life. I created and put together a few different free items to help with that process because I know it can feel very daunting. And so if you click on the links button below, you're going to have some different options that pop up. And one of them is going to be a core values worksheet. I highly recommend to start there. The reason being is that when you understand what your values are and why it matters, then it helps you to implement the how. It helps you to implement the what. We start with the why and then we go from there. So I hope this was helpful in terms of setting vision with your kids. I'd love to hear about the wonderful and amazing ideas that they create, whether it's for the year or for their entire lives or even just for this week or for the day. You know, sometimes you just need a vision for the day, and that's cool too. So love to hear those in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.